Hello, my fellow revenge fans. It is Monica here from TVandPopcorn.com, and I am here to give my review on the Revenge series finale. I have not been reviewing Revenge for the middle half of season 4. I actually absolutely hated the show's direction to the point where I stopped watching. I went a long ways in season 4. I went further than I thought I was going to go because I absolutely hated the idea that David Clark was alive. I absolutely hated that because we watched Emily, aka Amanda, go through so much in the first 3 seasons that it was just it seemed like such a huge waste that her father was actually alive. And not that I wasn't happy for her that she had her father back, because I can't imagine, knowing that your father was framed and set up and then all of a sudden you have him back in your life. I can't imagine. Okay, I could see how she would. It doesn't matter. She's happy that he's alive, but it was a huge shock to the fans. Me personally, I hated the idea, but I said, okay, I'm going to stick through it. It was very rough season 4 to watch David try to get back with Victoria, who was his long lost love. And until this day, I can't figure out whether he was really trying to get back with her or if further on he learned her taking to, or her part in him being framed. I don't know which one is which, and still to this day. So it was hard for me, but the hardest part for me was actually after Daniel's death, and Margot wants to go after Emily because she's just angry, right? But at first, she didn't know the truth, and I have to give her that. They did lie and say that Daniel actually tried to attack Amanda and that she killed him in self-defense. So Margot did not know the truth at first, but Victoria ended up telling her the truth, but not some of the whole truth. And so that really upset me when she decided that she wanted to take revenge against Amanda. And at this time, Victoria had called a truce with Amanda, right? And so then next thing you know, Margot is like, I don't care. I'm going after her. And Victoria's trying to tell her this is a dangerous game. You need to stay away. And she does it anyway. So at this point, of course, you know that she was pregnant with Daniel's baby. So this incident happens where she is hit by a taxi, and she tells Victoria that Amanda was the one who actually pushed her. That was a full-on lie. And that's the part of the show that I could not understand. And I had to stop at the point where actually my last episode was the one where Margot was standing in front of the window and she was like, okay, I'm going after Emily. She's messed with the wrong girl. Like that type of thing. I'm like, boo, blah, I'm done. It's a wrap. I could not watch anymore after that. I just couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to watch it because I said, this absolutely sucks. And she's going after Amanda for no reason. And if she looked at it the right way, she could tell that Daniel was actually trying to save Amanda's life. Okay, so let's fast forward. So here we are at the finale. Okay, listen, you guys. I was going to plan out what I wanted to say. I wanted to do some cute little recaps and really kind of think about what I loved about the show, what I hated about season 4. I absolutely hated season 4, but I loved Revenge. Revenge was like my all-time favorite show. And let me tell you one of the top things that I actually loved about Revenge, the reason why it became one of my all-time favorite shows on TV, because Revenge in the beginning, especially season 1, they knew how to move on. You barely noticed that in the beginning of season 1, 2, and I think even season 3 when they show Amanda getting shot on the boat, and then you had to wait the whole season to kind of find out who. But so much went on in between those shows, in between the first show and the finales, that you really didn't miss out on, okay, there's a huge cliffhanger. That's what I loved about the show, was the ability for them to move on. Not like there wasn't a huge cliffhanger every episode, and it's just dragging, and you're wondering, okay, who did it? When they're gonna get to who did it. And then also these shows with all these romantic involvements where these two people want to be together, you even feel they should be together, and then you have to wait literally 9-10 seasons for it to happen. I absolutely hate shows like that. So that's really what got me hooked onto Revenge, because I was like, okay, you know what, I love the way they just move on. And even though Emily and Jack, or Amanda and Jack, was in the play, kinda, she still had other love interests. So it wasn't like we're just waiting and they're walking and they see each other and they give a glance and then they move on and you think it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and it doesn't happen. They had a lot of fillers in between all of that. So you're like, okay, cool. There, she's moving on, sweet. He's moving on, sweet. You don't have to really wait. So I love that about the show. And then it just seemed to go downhill middle season 3 up into season 4. So what did I think about the finale? Okay, I liked it, but I didn't like it. I love the fact that Amanda and Nolan and Jack are alive. Now that part I absolutely did enjoy seeing. Would I, and I know I'm not a writer of Revenge. If I was a writer of Revenge, then hey, it'll be a whole nother story. I'm just a fan. I get that. But in my 2 cents of an opinion, first of all, I guess they kind of did okay with the time frame. Jack and Amanda actually ending up together was kind of weird for me. Really, really, really weird. Only because the show had not really built to that anymore. Like, after we saw Jack dealing with Kate, who ended up being the daughter of the enemy in season 4, middle season 4, it was kind of like, okay, Jack, I'm so over you right now. I'm over you, Jack. But he's good people, but it's just, I felt like it didn't build up to that. I can see it maybe leaving off with that, okay, they're getting ready to embrace their relationship more so than them actually embracing them. And then the little love scene, sex scene, whatever you want to call it, that was in the finale, and that little quick hookup, to me, I felt like if they would not have tried to brush up on those details so much and tried to fine tune it and kind of left it with the ruggedness and the rough edges, that it would have been a little bit more believable from the take that they, or from the angle they had actually taken the whole season, or from the angle that they had actually taken Amanda and Jack's relationship. That was one thing. Another thing that I felt like they didn't do justice on was showing who Victoria really was to everyone else. Even though, she did eventually bite the dust eventually. And I had this kind of like this little joke rolling through in my mind, like, okay, honestly, I would have called it 2 graves, because I would have wanted to see Victoria's body split up and put in both the graves to make sure she didn't come back to life. That type of thing, because she really did a good job faking her death. And she almost had Amanda completely framed for her death. So I really wanted Victoria to be outed a little bit more, especially to Margot. And the fact that Margot, I don't think, ever knew that Daniel shot Amanda. I don't think she ever knew that it was up in the air, or, well, it was up in the air to us fans, because we wanted to know, okay, is Amanda really incapable of having children? Like, so much was taken from Amanda that I felt like wasn't really addressed with the characters in the show, in the finale. I wanted a lot more dirt dug up on that. And then also would have been cool to actually see that everything that Amanda took Mason Treadwell through, it would have been good to see him maybe finally coming out with a book, a tell all about her life or something. Like, the finale spin could have been a little bit deeper to me, instead of the other little fine-tuned details trying to come into play. I think they should have left some stuff rough. Jack and Amanda's relationship was rough. He lost his wife in the middle of this, even though he thought she was the real Amanda at first, which I can understand that. And he's had a child by her, and just like he said in his toast at their wedding, he said, he brought up Declan's death, and I'm like, all of these characters just gone. This is crazy. And I thought about another character, and I wrote her name down, Padma. Yeah, you guys remember Padma? What a waste. Her and Nolan, that was a sweet relationship to me. I loved Padma and Nolan together. I really did enjoy that. So it was just a waste, I just wish they had done that, left it rough and moved on from little pointers of where, okay, there's some more details coming out. The tell-all book that literally told everything about the Graysons. Maybe if Mason had come out with a book that was like Grayson's tell all, or something crazy like that would have been like hecka freaky. But let me see, who else am I thinking? It was nice to see Charlotte back in the picture for a second. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't like Charlotte at all, and I was okay with her being gone. Like, some characters I was happy to see that the characters did in some way. I hated that a lot of them had to die, but I was really glad that some of them were gone. Like Ashley Davenport, she added great value to the show the first few seasons, but I was okay with her leaving. But it would have been cool to see some of these characters kind of stick around and bring that roughness that they had brought to the show, in the first maybe 2 seasons or so. Ashley was really cool. Ashley brought a lot of fashion along with Amanda and all the other characters to the show, and it seemed like season 4 kind of went more soap opera, and the fashion was even different. It was slow rolling. It was just a lot going on. I hated Margot. Louise, I was rooting for Louise. Louise turned around, and there's another thing about the finale that I was just like rolling my eyes to the ceiling, because I was like, really, this is not even believable. But I couldn't believe that Louise did end up turning on Victoria. Maybe she thought it was super wrong for them to be trying to frame Amanda. I'm not sure, but I was kind of like, really, so easily. Also, Margot wasn't believable to me either, because she went so far to do what she did, and then all of a sudden Nolan gets evidence on her, and it's kind of like, oh, well, let me do the right thing now. Really? I mean, don't you think you should have done the right thing, first of all, by starting to tell the truth that you really didn't lose your baby because Amanda pushed you in front of a taxi? Start there. Start at those truths and be real with yourself to keep you from doing something else stupid. So I just felt like that at all wasn't believable. David shooting Victoria was believable to me. He never wanted Amanda to cross the lines that she had even crossed at that point of taking out revenge for his life. Now here goes the question to all you fans. With David Clarke having been alive this past season, do you feel like Amanda's quest for revenge was even necessary at this point? And I kind of feel like, now that I think back, if she had listened to her father's letters and said to herself, okay, I'm not going to take out revenge, what happens, and then imagine her father coming back, and she had not even taken upon herself to take out revenge for him, or to even clear his name, which she did end up doing, which was great to see. But overall, it was season 4 was just weird to me. And I hate to be a downer, because I stopped reviewing the show in the middle of the season. And even at the finale, it's like, okay, I get it. I'm sad to see revenge go, but I'm sad to have seen revenge go long before the series finale. And I was every Sunday at 11 o'clock, because I'm in Eastern Standard Time. So every Sunday at 11, I was jumping on Facebook to read everybody's reaction to the show, even though I wasn't watching it. and I was constantly Googling revenge. And I think my search term was Revenge Renewed, or is Revenge Renewed 2014. Like, I wanted the show to end so badly so I could just even stop caring. But like I said, it was really, really, really one of my all-time favorite shows to watch. So I'm glad to see it go, because my brain was being wrecked at the fact that I refused to watch it, but then I couldn't let it go because I wanted to know what was happening. Were they going to continue on this stupid path with Margot? And really, I wanted to just see Margot being destroyed. But week after week after week, I was reading, Margot did this, and Margot, Victoria, and Louise have now teamed up on Amanda. It was just a hot mess to me. And so I refused to keep up with it in the sense of actually watching. I'd rather read it, which is good. It kept my IQ up really high. So, and I learned some new words, and, kind of had to use the dictionary for a few things. So it's good. Reading is good, you guys. Reading is good. Okay. So, a lot of characters gone. Daniel, I wonder where the show would have went if they would have kept Daniel. I understand that the star, the actor who played Daniel, I understand that he wanted Daniel to die, and I felt he did renew himself from season 3, because I went into season 4 completely hating Daniel because he shot Amanda. So yeah, he came back. That was good to see. It was nice to see Charlotte there for Amanda. But let me tell you guys, that was a dream that Amanda was having, based on, or when she was in the hospital, and it was showing that she had actually gotten Victoria's heart. That was a dream, everybody. It was a dream. And what happened was Jack confirmed it when she was like, it felt so real. And he said, but no, it's not real. It's a nightmare. So it was a dream. Maybe she did have to have heart surgery after being shot, but I don't think she got Victoria's heart at all. Let's see, who else do I want to talk about real quick before we go? Ben, he turned out being okay in the end. I called him RoboCop because he was getting on my nerves trying to be Super Cop. I understand, and I saw how he met his death. Didn't really like him though, but I guess it was good because he wasn't a complete jerk at the end. He wasn't the jerk that I thought he was. So okay, yeah, that was cool. And out of all the takedowns Amanda did, Lydia Davis is the one I remember the most. She was the most dramatic takedown, or opposite the Graysons, I guess, or along with the Graysons. Lydia was something else. Yeah, Tyler. Do you guys remember Tyler? Tyler was Daniel's college friend, always getting Daniel in trouble, always drinking, and he ended up coming to live with the Graysons for a while, and they ended up taking care of him. Do you guys remember Tyler? He was crazy. He brought some serious twists to the show in the second, was it the first season or second season? First season going into the second season. He brought a lot of little twists and knots and turns, and he was such a snake. And when him and Ashley teamed up, that drove me nuts. But like I said, I like how they moved on from these characters. And it just seemed like season 4 just didn't move on at all. But Tyler was a good little character. Oh, here's another one. And I did write these names down because it's been so long. I had to go back and think about them. But do you guys remember Helen Crawley, aka the Initiative? And then the stupid part was Conrad ended up being the head over the Initiative the whole time, or the Initiative never existed. Conrad was he was a snake. He was something else. But Victoria ended up killing Helen Crawley, and I think she killed her in their guest house or whatever, and they ended up covering that up. But that was a trip. And so I was going to do 20 things I really loved about the show, but I didn't. I didn't write any of it down. I just said, you know what, I'm going to get on here and I'm going to freestyle it, and I'm going to tell everybody how I feel about the finale. So I'm glad it's over. I really am glad it's over. And I think they ended on a decent note. I'm glad that my favorite characters were alive. Another shocking thing about the finale was that Nolan actually wanted to keep on doing what he was doing. He felt like he had purpose in the whole revenge arena, the revenge life. And I was like, that's kind of outside of Nolan's character to me. I didn't see Nolan wanting to keep going with that. I thought that Nolan maybe wanted to move on, build back up his reputation, start a new company, or, you know, something along those lines. So to see him actually want to continue that was kind of weird to me, but I was glad that Nolan was still alive. I don't know where him and Louise's relationship will stand. I don't know. I know that went south, and I missed out on those episodes. I didn't watch them, but I do understand that some things had went down with them, and he wanted to divorce her, and she lost it and went to the whole side of Margot and Victoria. So that was a little shocking, though, to see Nolan continue. I would have wanted Nolan to stop because he had been through so much, but I guess I think maybe he just got used to helping people, helping someone, because he was always such a great help to Amanda. So that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts on the finale. I don't think there's too much more that I can say about Revenge. I might go back soon enough and watch the first 3 seasons all over again. And I had started it because I really wanted to kind of start documenting everything I really loved and some of the coolest moments. And one of the moments that I thought about recently when I was thinking about the top 20 things, what I loved about the show was when both Victoria and Amanda had pulled up in their little black cars to see Ashley off. They were sending her back over to her home country, and then they got back into their separate cars, but at the time they were still kind of, you know, enemies. And Victoria had always kind of thought that Amanda was up to something. You know, she expected her to be something that she wasn't the whole time, but really didn't know how deep it all went. So those were some of the cooler moments of the show that I really did enjoy. And I enjoyed those little 2 seconds that Amanda and Victoria had both called a truce. I really did enjoy that. And it kind of sucks to see that all the Graysons had, or except for Charlotte, had gone and died. But, you know, hey. But like I said, I really wish that in the finale they would have come out with a tell-all book or something crazy and would have showed that, you know, all of the Hamptons were sitting back reading this book like, you know, their hands over their mouth like, what? This actually happened? That would have been cool. So I think that's it. I'm going to stop rambling now. And I want to hear your thoughts on how you felt about the Revenge season finale. And once again, my name is Monica. And if you have enjoyed my finale review, please, please, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would love to have you as a subscriber. And at any time of the day, you can visit me at www.TVandPopcorn.com. And until next time, and until my next review, you do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.